everyone. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. I've been doing a bit on the Boom Squad channel as well for the past few months. So there's that. For those who are looking for an update on the Asobi Project Eternal game, the MMO RPG, they are a bit behind schedule by a lot. So I don't know when they actually plan to do the global release date, but they're behind by at least 8 months from the original approximate launch date. I wanted to make this video because quite a few people have been asking me how to play Jawhead. I apologize for the delay. If you still want tips from me, well, here it is. The emblem and spell choices for Jawhead are quite important. The support Jawhead build is my favorite by far because you get the extra movement speed for rotations and you also get the mana regen. And then for the tier 3 support you also get some cooldown, extra cooldown for your spell. And because Flicker is the most important spell for Jawhead, that's actually quite useful because you get that 15%. So in case you mess up your Flicker, well, there you get a bonus 15%. I really think that your support Jawhead is meta in Mythic gameplay, but a damaged Jawhead in Mythic isn't really that effective because you're a close range fighter. You need some range for soloing a lane or like that, but if you want to go for a damaged Jaw, I suggest a much more sturdier build. Don't go for the glass cannon builds. The glass cannon builds are great and they're awesome, especially in Epic, Legend, they're actually pretty good. So you can build your head like a marksman, but you actually need a few kills to make that work, and that's the Joker build. He's the top German Jawhead. I really like his build. It's got good damage, extra movement speed when you need it from Hunter Strike, good damage from Blade of Despair, and it's even got that Wind of Nature, the Wind Talker, which is actually pretty nice. I really like that one because it also gives you a little bit of magic damage. That has to be one of my favorite builds. And if you look at my old build, the old gameplay I have, the 30 kills, 0 deaths Jawhead, that was with the Joker build. The Joker build is actually a very nice damage build, but it's very weak in defense. So in team fights, you're going to be losing out a bit sometimes. But now this is the Guardian build, the Guardian 1 build. I made this one. I really like this build actually because you can do mid lane, you can do bot lane, you can protect the marksman, you can protect your mid laner. And this build has just so much defense. You got defense for days. And sometimes people just want to attack you. And it just doesn't work because they don't seem to realize Jawhead can be a tank as well as a fighter. Because have a look at this. Where's Jawhead? See that durability? You've got more durability than offense. So yeah, you don't need to worry about your durability a lot because that's more durability than most tanks in this game. I really like that stat on it because you also get a 250 shield from Jawhead whenever you use your second skill. So when you're using Jawhead, the thing you have to remember is get the second skill if you need shield, upgrade the first skill if you want more damage, the rockets, yep. And yeah, that's how you do it. If you want to do a solo laner like the top lane, I really don't think Jawhead is suited for that. If you really wanted to get some range damage, I suggest Sylvana, Leomord, Zask, even Chang'e is better for solo laning than Jawhead. Jawhead just doesn't have that range, and he doesn't have any dash skills, so if they gank you and you mess up, you die quite easily because you haven't got any dash skills. You only got your Flicker, but you really want to save that Flicker for trying to throw their marksman or their assassins, so yeah, you have to keep that in mind. A pure damage Jawhead with using the Joker on it can sometimes be quite good. It depends on how you use it, you see. Yeah, if you can get a damage Jaw, sometimes if you get the mid lane, and you get all the entire bot lane and all the buffs and all the damage for the kills, then yeah, I suppose it's workable. A situation where this can work well is if you have Ling and Jaw. That's a good example. You get the bot lane with Jawhead, you get the red buff, you get the gold crab, and then you manage to invade and get a few kills, and then that gives time for Ling to farm up. And while Jaw is can be an early game hero and very effective early game hero at damage, late game Jawhead really can't do much. So late game, I want you to consider actually selling all your damage items. Late game, that is, not early game, because you can do quite a lot of damage early game. Late game, sell all your damage items and replace it with some defense items like Athena's Shield, Antique, and this Immortality. Those are some of the three I most like. Now, if you want to rotate faster, another good boot is this one. I really like this boot, but the rapid boots, they give you 80 movement speed, but it doesn't really give you any extra bonuses aside from that. So if you want to use rapid boots, go ahead, you can use it. It's quite good for rotations, and if you plan to rotate a lot, go for it. Now, warrior boots, they give you that defense. I use this a lot if I'm trying to be a tank in the game, so that one's good as well. Even when I'm solo laning, I prefer warrior boots. That extra defense is very nice. Yep, and you'll find if you're doing a damage Jawhead, I want you to not emote as much at the beginning. But late game, when you kill the enemies, just emote them. Spam it. And you know that good game for all? Well, spam that too. Every time you kill the enemy, spam it. And spam that well played. Just spam it. Just be a grub and just do all of that. You want to piss them off as much as you can without being toxic. You emote them on them, and then you spam that thingy on them. Just annoy them a lot. So all their attention is on you. And then in the end, because you got all that kills, they will want to target you. But they don't seem to realize that Ling is going to be the DPS, or whatever carry you have is the DPS. So they're going to keep aiming for you. And if you got that defense, that's fine. You just make them waste all their ults, all their skills, all their spells, and they're just going to spend it all on you like idiots. So, well, yeah, not idiots, but you know what I mean. Bit silly, but sometimes that's what they do. And that's how you do from rotation from damage Jawhead to HP defense Jawhead. The switch between the two really catches the enemy off guard sometimes, so that's a nice way of doing it. And that's pretty much it. I won't do any actual gameplay for this time, I think. Yeah, I don't think I'll do any actual gameplay for this time. I'll just show you what I do in the game, how I treat the jungle, how I try to catch the enemy off guard. And I'll do, if you want, I can do some gameplay next time, but this time I'll just stay with it for here.
Don't need no warning. This feeling's right. Vibrations chill through my bones. Sensations flow through your glow. So incredible, the way I feel with you, so phenomenal. And you always push me through, unforgettable. The way I feel with you, unbelievable. And you always push me through, electrified. Electrified with you, electrified. Electrified with you. heart's convulsing. This feeling's right. Vibrations chill through my bones. Sensations flow through your glow. So incredible, the way I feel with you. So phenomenal, and you always push me through. Unforgettable, the way I feel with you. Unbelievable, and you always push me through. Electrified with you, electrified.
So don't do this. If you ult first, they got time to respond to use Purify or Flicker into their base, dragging you back in. Instead, you should use second skill, first skill, then ult. That way, you'll catch them off guard even if they do use Purify or Flicker.